Hello again. We are here for our summer holidays and we are at the Blackmore campsite in Worcester. So we've driven down yesterday in our new fancy car and our lovely Van Gogh Brecon Air 600 XL tent. But so what have we got to do? We've got Malvern Hills, we've got Worcester Cathedral, some National Trust and English Heritage buildings and parks to go to, and whatever else we can find. So let's get on with the adventure. See you in a bit. Bye. So the Blackmore camping caravan site is a great little caravan park with fairly flat pitches, lovely little play area for the kids, and based just outside of the Malvern and the Malvern Hills. So, first adventure for the week is Croome. This includes a house and loads of parkland area, as well as some gardens, and owned by the National Trust. It's been with them for 30 odd years now, but it's a great day out. The kids have a great time in the wildlife area. It's got a bug hotel, loads of places to build dens, some swings, some large trees, just general outdoor readiness and fun little kitchen garden. Tobin enjoyed it. We were probably there for about an hour, just him playing in the actual den building area, the balance beams, the ropes, etc. And it was a very, very fun time. From there we decided to walk down to see some of the gardens and the actual house itself. So through the woodland, through the paths, we passed one of the lovely chapels which did have some flying bats inside. That was interesting to see during the day. This leads us to a lovely long walk down through the gardens in the blistering heat of this day, down towards the house. Once we reached the house, it was down to walking in and being greeted by the lovely National Trust volunteers, who provides plenty of information on the house. You walk through, you've got grand rooms, architecture, some amazing looking paintings, some furniture. On this occasion we had some exhibitions. From there we then ended up just walking through the house at our own pace, finally leaving the house towards the summer of play outside the rear of the house. Once we had finished the house, we were out through into the garden where they have their annual summer of play, and this includes garden games, some hammocks, and just general fun for the kids outdoors. The gardens themselves are a Capability Brown masterpiece which was started in 1751. Within the gardens as well there are various follies and also a panoramic tower, as well as a lovely Chinese bridge. From there we did a little walk around the gardens and we made our way back up to the car so we could continue our day. As you can see, I was left alone to walk. Good morning all. We are day 2. Yesterday, where did we go? We went to Croome Park, so manor house and park, country park with play area, wild play area, a bit of everything really. So today I think we're heading off into Worcester to see the cathedral, and then we don't really have anything planned after that. So it's kind of just go with the flow and see what's in and around Worcester. But overall the weather's holding up lovely. It is amazing blue skies, as you can see, and some people are packing up, some people are, well, it's not arriving, it's too early yet, but I see some more people arriving today, so let's go and we will see you later on at the cathedral. Hey. So, our next day of adventures, we decided to hit up the Worcester Cathedral to add to our collection of cathedrals. The actual cathedral itself began in 1084 and was completed in 1504, so you're looking at 420 years. That's a fair long time for a cathedral. It does showcase early English Gothic and later styles, as well as a few Norman elements in there. It's got some notable burials in there. We have King John. We also have Prime Minister Stanley Baldwin and composer Edward Elgar. The actual architectural highlights were St. Wulfstene's crypt, medieval cloisters, early English choir, and the Lady Chapel. The actual cathedral has a 12th century chapter house. It is believed to be the first round chapter house. The central gardens in the cathedral are very well kept. Lovely flowers, very calm and serene. A lovely place just to sit down and have a little snack or have a little walk around. I did manage to climb up the tower as part of a tour. Tobin didn't want to join us because it apparently was too many stairs for his little legs. But once we got to the top, they talked us through what we can see, what you can see. On the way down, they talked us through all the bells. From there, we continued walking through the cathedral, looking at the lovely architecture, the organs, the organ pipes, all the carvings, the ceilings, the tombs of the buried kings, prime ministers, etc. Overall, lovely cathedral, well worth the visit, and I would encourage anyone to go see it just for the architecture, even if you're not religious. And just the stained glass alone in some of them are absolutely amazing. So we will catch you at the next cathedral for this one. We found Bredon Tythe barn, a ancient barn. Not really a huge amount to say about it. Great little visit. We were there for about 15-20 minutes to have a walk around. It's ancient, there's some facts there. It was pretty much free to visit. I'll catch you on the next part of the journey. We found Odda's Chapel, an ancient monument. Not that big, it's great, hidden away, down a little alley. But once you're in there, it's very calm, very peaceful, very serene, and that was it. We were there for about 15-20 minutes. Good morning. It's Tuesday now, and when we came home yesterday from our trips out to Worcester Cathedral and a few other places, we got back and we found that a cheeky squirrel, again, he was in there the other night, we managed to chase him out, but when we got home, he had been in and he had munched an apple, which we had not noticed. So we had half of a munched apple from a cheeky squirrel. So now we're doing a bit of squirrel proofing today before we head out. And we're not too sure we're going to head out today. It's probably going to be a National Trust or English Heritage or someplace like that. So we're just going to start heading towards a location and see if they're open and go from there. But otherwise, we will catch up with you in a little bit. Also, the sun is still shining, which is fantastic, but it's going to be a hot one today. I believe it's going to be something like 27, 28 degrees, something stupid. So maybe find somewhere that's got a woods that we can go wander around it. So catch up with you in a bit. Bye. Our next leg of the adventure took us to Brockhampton. We didn't really know what to expect, and we were very pleased. There was a little house, a little cafe, lovely gardens, a proper orchard, well, an ancient orchard, as well as some vineyards throughout the house and the barn, and loads of different places you could walk through. Again, National Trust, so there was plenty of people around providing information. We got a little guidebook as well. Each room had a different theme, and there were some things for the kids to do inside the house. But when we were walking around the gardens, there was a treasure trail for them to find, as well as not as many summer of fun adventures as some of the previous places, but there were some hammocks and a couple of little games to play in the gardens. Overall, we enjoyed walking through the orchards. It was a lovely hot day, so walking through those orchards, we did actually also cheekily steal an apple off the tree, which we did eat. very, very tart and very sour. Would probably make a very good apple pie. It's now 7 p.m. Tobin wants to climb a mountain tonight to see the sunset. Closest thing we had were the Malvern Hills, which he thinks are mountains. Fair dues. We took a quick drive. We found a place to park. We started climbing the hill. In the daylight, we got to see the sunset. It was very good. Very windy, but very good. So, made it to the top of North Hill and the Malvern Hills. There's no trick point. Not happy. On the way back down, we were walking down in the dark and we got attacked by a bat. How cool is that? So, we decided to head over to a English heritage site today, Wiley Court. We got there and with our standard English heritage badges or cards, we scanned ourselves in, walked down through the gardens to be presented by a lovely lake covered in lily pads. Couldn't see any frogs on the lily pads, but there were definitely thousands of lily pads and some swans. So while walking down, we saw a little sign to have a little boat ride. So we decided, yeah, we're going to have a little boat ride. There was an additional cost for the boat ride. Luckily they took card, so we hopped on board and he took us down through the reeds, around the lilies. We saw some absolutely massive fish. From there, got off the boat, well, the little boat, and then we decided to walk up through the house. And the house itself is a ruin now, but the house does date back to 1086, which is around the same time as the Domesday Book. It was owned by the Foley and Ward families, who were Earls of Dudley, and significant remodeling throughout the ages by architects like John Nash. The garden does have, or the house and the garden does have this massive, great big fountain, which is every hour, and it does go on for about 15 minutes, which is a good amount of time for a fountain to go. The actual gardens themselves, well kept, well maintained, and then Tobin wanted to go on the boat again. So we did that for the second time, walked our way back out through, and had a little bit more fun. And we're back again today to yet another English heritage site. This time it is Goodrich Castle. Now, Goodrich Castle is one of the finest and best preserved of all the English medieval castles. As you can see, it is still quite a substantial castle. Walking up to it was quite grand. You didn't quite grasp the size of it until you actually got there. Once we got there, crossed a couple of little bridges to get into the castle itself. Once in the castle, you had what we class as a ruined castle. Plenty of different rooms and places to walk in and out of. Some of them had no lights or tiny slit windows. There were some secret passages you could walk back and forth through to get to the different rooms and up and down the stairs. A couple of the rooms still had some significant stained glass in them, and there was also a couple of little cannons which were stationed around. Throughout the castle was just fun. Tobin enjoyed walking up and down the stairs to the different rooms to see all the different levels. From the highest level you can actually see quite far out into the distance, so you could obviously maintain your defences. Once we'd walked the inside of the castle, we then migrated down and out. You could walk down through one of the doors and some steps to the outside of the castle, where you could just be overwhelmed by its actual thickness of walls and the height of them. Overall, we were pleased with the actual castle itself. We were probably there for a good few hours just walking around. Plenty of room to have picnics and have a little snack if need be. There is also a cafe back by the car park, and as per any English heritage site, we could collect our pup badges. So we've now collected the one for the Goodrich Castle. So it's a few days later. Let's catch you up. Tuesday we ended up doing Brockhampton, and that was just a national trust, and we walked around, had a few things, and that was that really. The little orchard, nice little place to have a little chill. Oh, there he is. Say hi.
Hi.
So from there we ended up climbing North Hill on the Malvern Hills. Did you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was night time.
Yeah.
We walked back in the dark.
We saw bats too.
We saw bats?
Yeah, and we climbed really high, and we went to the second highest part.
Yeah. Okay, so yes. So we climbed to North Hill on the Malvern Hills. It was a bit of impromptu because we were going to do it during one of the days, but they've just been so hot. We ended up doing it in one of the evenings. So we climbed the hill. I forgot to take a coat. It got a bit chilly up the top, and it got dark because we went up at sunset. No, we did see the sunset, which was good. No trig point, which was bad. But then Wednesday we ended up going to another site, which was Wiley Court, which was an old ruined house. And
I went, and on this day, I went into about 5-year-old dungeon that wasn't too scary or dark.
that was today.
Yeah,
We're talking about
today.
we're talking about yesterday.
You went on a boat trip yesterday.
We did the boat trip, didn't we?
Yeah, I was only talking today.
Yeah, but I'm talking about yesterday. So what happened yesterday?
We went on a boat ride.
Right, kid. Hang on. So Wednesday we went to Wiley Court, and we did a few things. It's a ruined site. We saw the fountains, and what else did we see? What else did we do there?
I saw a big fish and got to touch lake water, and I got to touch lily pads. I went on a boat ride, and that's when I touched the lily pads and water.
And you climbed up that big tree, didn't you?
Yeah, big tree. Wait, what big tree?
So, and that leads us to today, where we ended up going a little bit further out today, and we went to Goodrich Castle. And what did you see at the castle today? We did lots of climbing the walls, and we went down the stairs. Where else did we go?
We went up the spiral stairs. We saw a house and stuff, and we saw farmers, and we also got to go in a dungeon that you don't have to be too old to go in. About 5 years old to go in.
Yes, the castle, we walked up this very narrow staircase up to the top, and then we went down to the dungeons on the way back down. And dungeons were nice and cool because it was so hot. But the dungeons being so far down were like an icebox. It was nice walking down there. And that leads us to the end of the day. So we will end you there and catch up with you tomorrow. See you. Bye. So it's the last actual day we are going to be down in the Worcestershire area, so we decided to head over to the East Midlands Safari Park. This is your good standard British safari park where you've got drive-through, you can see all the animals in your cars, and we have everything from lions to giraffes to rhinos and everything in between. Once we've done that, you then park back up end up going through the actual safari zoo bit, where we've got penguins and sea lions and various other animals. There is also a Jurassic Park area, so you walk through some Ice Age bits. You then see some dinosaurs and some prehistoric animals, and all of that Tobin was loving. It was an absolute fantastic day out. You probably need 2 days, because we didn't even get to see or do any of the rides at the other end of the park. We just spent all the time walking through all these areas, and we spent a good few hours at the park. Well, no, we actually spent all day at the park. We got there early, pretty much as soon as they opened, and we were there right till they closed, and we didn't even get to do everything in the park, because there is just so much to do. So you can get multi-day passes, you can get annual passes. It is well worth it if you do get one of the multi-day passes to do it over 2 days, because you can easily spend 2 days there just covering everything. Luckily for us, we had some fantastic weather, so we didn't have to worry about rain or anything like that. The actual dinosaurs themselves, as you can see, are not animatronic. Well, there were a couple of animatronic ones, but they're all well kept, good condition, and overall it was an absolute fun day out. Tobin thoroughly enjoyed himself. So if you are in the area and you do get a chance, I would highly recommend going to the East Midlands Safari Park. On our way home, we decided to slightly detour to see Kenilworth Castle, a castle which Tobin hasn't been to before, but me and Kirsten have. The actual castle itself is of Norman origins from the 12th century. It has and did withstand one of England's longest medieval sieges, lasting 6 months due to its water defences, and it became a medieval powerhouse, notably under King John. The actual castle itself is quite grand. You have a lot of area and space to walk up. You have towers, basements, some of the Elizabethan areas, and there's lots of graffiti on the walls, which is quite interesting to look at the dates. Plenty of areas to roam, even sit and have a little picnic. The castle and the gardens themselves are maintained by the English Heritage, so for us, comes under our passes, we get in for free, and again we collected our little pup badge. But throughout the summer they do have lots of things on. You have a night school, so actual medieval night school kids can play at. You have different other elements through the days throughout the year. During the lesser busier months they put on different things. I know they do something at Christmas and they have Easter stuff, so it is a well-rounded day out. You can easily spend a good full day there, and in good weather you can have picnic, have the family out. Very fun days.
birthday trip. So see you next time at another campsite.